Hi, Caro.
Hi, Anna. I can.
Hi, Caro. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Good afternoon, Caroline.
Oh my God. So this is what I'm talking.
Hi, Caro.
Hi, Anna.
How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Glad to join you for one of our little talks.
Likewise. So tell us, how do you think we prioritize work-life balance within ONQOR, and so we make sure that the team rest hard but also work hard?
First and foremost, for me, was the implementation of the 4-day work week. I've definitely seen on myself and my team this making like a huge impact.
Yeah.
So we can focus on the work, we're much more productive, and those 3 days rest give you the opportunity to actually disconnect from work and focus on yourself and whatever you need to feel better.
Yeah, I think this 4-day work week really had a good positive impact on productivity at a wider level. From my perspective, I've seen teams working more hand in hand and with more communication, because obviously we need to still make things work. And I just see people just so happy to come back at work and be rested after a weekend. Because I don't know about from your experience, but when we were on a 5-day work week, it's like work, 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 and then you only have those 2 days to rest. Comes the Monday, you feel like, it just went like that. And, talking to the wider team, we've actually noticed a huge difference in how they feel in the workplace.
Yeah, that Sunday feeling of being feeling a bit blue to go back to work on Mondays, for me, definitely changed. Because even if you have your Friday off and you still work on Monday, you still had 3 days to perfectly enjoy and rest, relax.
During 4 days, you're fully at work, but then you know that you're going to be able to, take on some new hobbies and, see your friends more, rest, sleep. So you kind of come and start the week in a more energized way.
I think another thing that was great, and it happens since I joined, so probably since the beginning of ONQOR and the creation, was those mental health days. Yeah. That for me were definitely a big perks. For me, that's a great thing. Same with Story, if you work extra hours, which we do not encourage, but still, sometimes it happens. The ability to take it whenever you need it, no questions asked. It's very much to each and everyone's own discretion, which is for me a great perk.
We don't know what's going on in everyone's life. People go through different things, and they have to overcome certain situations, sometimes very unexpected. And as a company, I don't think we're here to judge or to, be super micromanaging when it comes to those things. So that's why I think, the mental health time and the fact that, people can just say, I need some time, and we give it, is, a priority that we have in the company.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're trying to adapt as much as possible. And yeah, do not ask questions. If you need the time to take care of something personal, please do it. We're here to support you and listen. Yeah,
I'd say, to summarize this, that putting the human element and prioritizing this first and foremost is a key to success, because we see an increase in productivity. We see people energized and excited to be at work. We see, still high quality delivery, and if not even better than it used to be before. And actually people exciting to be here and wanting to, surpass themselves, which is great. So how would you say we recognize the signs of burnout, and how have we sort of made sure that this doesn't happen in the workplace?
I think it's definitely someone who has lost interest in the project, because I think we work with very passionate people who love their job, so this is definitely a sign to look for. Tiredness, yeah. I think not coming to the office, not engaging with people. Like we say, we try to listen. I think there is definitely some things ONQOR have implemented in terms of the well-being check and the monthly reviews, which are talks on work, but also on how the person is feeling. What we can do to improve, workflow, workload. We're trying to listen as much as we can. Yeah. And I think we are quite quick to fix problem. If we have the solution, we're trying to implement it right away and to not let any problem drag on. We implemented Spill, a confidential and very one-to-one service.
Yeah, it's a well-being platform that, helps people who are going through, a tough time or simply wants to, stress, yeah, or people that want to, have someone to speak to in pure confidentiality, within the workspace, have access to on an ongoing basis. And we've had some very, very good feedback from that. And it's great to see that actually people are using it, which means, it is a need in a company.
Yeah, I think having the support, even for those who don't use it yet, because maybe at some point they will feel more comfortable, to know that you have the support here and that we put so many things in place for people to talk to someone in the company or not, and they know they've been listened and that we care. Just this makes a huge difference.
When we start implementing new things like that, and I talk to people in the industry that we have this, for me, I just think that this is just second nature of a business and that everyone should be like that. But the sort of response I have when I say, oh yeah, we have this, we have that, we have a 4-day work week, it's just pure shock. And everyone seems to be looking for a job suddenly. But it's true, it's, especially mental health in the workplace is a tricky subject, because I don't think that it's standard practices for most businesses, especially when we're talking marketing industry. If we talk burnout, I mean, you and I have friends that are going through some phases like that, and it's really not a pleasant phase to be in. Yeah, so I think that, if more companies and businesses had this at their staff disposition, that would change a lot of things.
Yeah, in terms of creative, like as creatives, burnout happen like quite often, because obviously in an agency you're always asked to create new and to innovate. It can be quite a lot of pressure for creatives. So we try to give space, time. For me, it's like nurturing those talents for them to feel appreciated, recognized, and supported all the time. So it's positive talk, constant feedback. I think it's definitely something we've seen made a huge impact on someone. For me, it's also creative research and trying to always challenge, but in a good way, make it fun. Do those creative research, thinking like, oh, what's trendy? What new could I try? And try to keep up that passion.
The wider team, of course, we encourage, self-development, professional development, and, allocate 8 hours per month on professional development. But I think it's also an occasion for us to encourage, being curious and researching and reading books. And, if you have some downtime, learn a new skill. And I think just by doing those things and exploring your what you like and what you're capable of doing, it just fulfills you as a person, and kind of keeps you away from this moment where you feel like you stagnate and you're not going anywhere,
The worst thing that can happen is a blank page.
Yeah.
Like the most simple task can become the most dragging and the most awful task of your week that was supposed to take you half an hour, and you've been working on it for like hours. Just go away, take the space, take the need. Sometimes I just take a walk, enjoy the sun, listen to your favorite podcast, I don't know, do whatever. Like, you're gonna always work on it anyway. Like, we all had that creative thing when you're like in the shower or like cutting your veg at dinner time. It's just like, oh, well, that's it. So just like go away from the page and just try to focus on something else. You're not working on it in the end.
I remember one time with Joe, actually, we had a big pitch for a client. And at the time I was creative director. So I was kind of like, all the pressure is put on you. It's like, find the idea. But what idea? I don't have any idea right now. So what do I do? And Joe was like, right, everyone, we stop everything. We get out of the agency. We're just going to walk outside and we're just going to observe the trees and observe the sky and, just feel things. And it just happened. It just happened, and we had one of our biggest pitch. And we came up with some incredible results, from that. It was great.
There's not only one way of doing the thing. Like, do whatever for you. Like, do your work, go away, have a proper evening, a proper time off, come back tomorrow. Not everything is an emergency. I think it's a concept in marketing agency that feels a bit lost. Like, not everything is an emergency, so you can take the time. So we're trying also to, when estimating our time, or even for client, we know we need the time to make quality work. So I think it's also respecting the human factor and the fact that not everything can be done quickly, and that it needs the time.
I think there's also another element from specifically in the marketing industry where you have power abuse, where you have the top senior leadership team who could be, I'm not going to do it, I'm just going to delegate it top down, just because I can't be bothered, really. And I don't think we have this mentality at all at ONQOR. Our managers are on alert if there is any sort of emergency that may happen, but we don't have this attitude of, you know, relying on others. We make sure that our teams are really taking the time off and really sort of disconnecting. There is also another thing that I just find outrageous. It's office shaming.
Yeah, that's awful. I've heard a lot about it from friends in the industry.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's shaming someone because
they leave on time.
They leave on time, like at the time in the contract, let's say, like at 6 o'clock, like, why are you leaving?
Yeah.
This is like, you should stay, you should give 1,000%. And oh my God, you're gonna exhaust your team. And shaming, I don't know.
Yeah, it's really bad practice. And, you know, you see this not only for people leaving on time and being looked at from other people, but also for taking holiday. You know, when people need the time off, it's because they need the time off. Like, you should never say to someone or someone in your team, oh, again, or, you know, you should never have any judgment on that. You know,
yeah,
we all work.
It has happened to me of being like scared to ask for a day off. Like, or like I need to go early because I have like a medical appointment.
Yeah.
And, oh yeah, well then you need to come back tomorrow at 7. Like, why? Like, trust me, my job is gonna be done. Like, I'm not gonna, don't punish me. So yeah, it is definitely something that we're trying not to do. I think we're succeeding.
We are not doing this. This is for sure. You know, it's kind of the situation where you start a job and then you don't leave until your manager leaves. And, you know, okay, if there is work and you fancy staying a bit longer because you really want to get this over the line and then the rest can wait for tomorrow, that's fine. But office shaming someone because they leave on time for whatever reason it is just not acceptable.
I think the thing is just trust your team.
Yeah.
That's the main point.
Okay, and what advice would you give someone starting in a creative field or marketing field, someone that, or even a friend of yours that is actually working in the marketing industry and that is going through a tough time, struggling? What would you say to them? What would you advise those people to do?
I think it's apply for the job that you feel you can be part of the culture that really represents also who you are, because you're gonna feel more invested and also happy to go to work. Like it's definitely something for me that is huge and a big part of like why I applied to ONQOR. You need to connect, so make sure it does respect you and your values. Yeah,
but then at the same time, if we're talking purely from a work behavior, a professional behavior, I have heard so many stories where people just never disconnect.
It's also because the way we've been taught how the industry works.
Yeah,
we've been taught to overwork, and like if you don't overwork, you're not going to succeed.
Exactly.
That's not true. Just make sure when you're at work, you are 100%. That's it.
Yeah.
But you don't need, like, you can have 4 days 100% and 3 days of 0% at work.
Yeah, it's true. We've been taught to look at agency world, that this is the way it is. Yeah. And then, you know, when people say to other people that are not in the industry, oh yeah, but I've been staying in the office until 2 a.m. People seem shocked and they're like, yes, but this is agency life. No, agency life doesn't have to be like that. And, you know, if you organize and you have good managers and a good company you work for, well, then it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, that happened to me more time than I can count on. Like, it's just the call back at 10:30, like you need to be back in the office because we need you, and getting home at 2, 3 a.m. and being expected at your job, at your desk, like at 9 a.m. Yeah. Like, it's, how is that sustainable in the long run?
Yeah.
Working until midnight. I don't know, starting your day earlier because like your managers couldn't say no to a client that wanted something now. That is not okay. Like, respect the time of your employees and basic human behavior, I'd say.
Absolutely. And I'll also add to that, I think from a personality perspective, I know it's not easy for everyone to do that, but if you work in the perfect environment, usually, you know, communication is always, you know, on top, on point. But it's speaking up about your emotions. I don't think it should be ever a problem to say that you feel uncomfortable about something, or that something upset you, or that you would have done something different. So like, just voicing an opinion and taking initiatives, for me, is a key to success. And if, you know, more people out there that I hear suffering in their own jobs were like this with their own manager or within their teams, it'd make a massive difference.
Yeah, like each and every one, we're all can voice emotion. If you feel a discomfort, that is absolutely not okay. So it is totally fine to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, Caro, for this very insightful conversation. I hope we managed to inspire some people out there. So just remember, be enthusiastic about where you work, speak up, communicate with your team, and make sure to always disconnect. Find the time for yourself and give it 100% at work, and everything will be great. And, you know, we're always on the lookout for new talents. So if anything is available on our website, you can have a look at our vacancies, and it will be amazing to have a conversation. Bye. Bye.